they have, and what they have should be, they give with their courage and they give with their money. It's not only money, it's not only material thing, it's also your presence, it's also your mind, your heart. This is spirituality, by the way. Be careful with all these new type, some governments now, in the Muslim majority countries and in the West, they are supporting Sufi. Sufi is at the center of Islam. But not Sufi the way they are talking about. Sufi is pray during the night and disappear during the day. The Sufi we know is pray during the night in order to change the world during the day. This is our Sufism. We pray during the night, yes, but we want to change the world. Because this is the way the Prophet ﷺ was. This is the way he was. He was not sleeping a lot, but he was very active. And you know when did he start? He was 40. Us today when we are 40 say, oh, now it's time to rest. He started, he was 40. And he started being, and he was courageous. One tribe insulted a woman about the headscarf. He prepared an army. You touch one of us, you will find us all. And we are saying the same, but not doing the same. We are the first to talk and the last to act. So at least if you are not at the forefront, let the people who are ready to do the job, do the job. And sometimes it's very important for us to understand, don't make it a Muslim business. Injustices, racism, and Islamophobia is not only the case of the victims. It's something which has to do with all the people. It's not only about Muslims. It's not only about black people or African American. It's not only about Latinos. It's about all of us. So when we have people coming from another background, Christians, Jews, atheists, agnostic, Buddhist, whatever, and they are ready to do the job, sometimes it's very important to have this together. Why? Because sometimes they can say things that you cannot say. It's true. There are things that some non-Muslims can say that you cannot say. If you say that, you are destroyed. And Amnesty International, they know this, and they started this only on the national ground. If you were facing Tunisia, they were not going to send a Tunisian guy to say something against the Tunisian government. Because they might not get him, but they will get his family. So you have to be intelligent in the way you are resisting. It's a front. It's a coalition. The coalition is, you do this, and we are adding competences and strength to the whole thing. So anyone who wants to face, Islamophobia by saying, let us gather all the Muslims, and think now in America that it's only the Muslim business, you are completely wrong. You are not going to win anything like this. You are going to put yourself on the margin. You are doing exactly what the Tea Party wants you to do. You are playing the victim mentality, putting you on the margin. Come to the mainstream. Come at the center of the struggle and do what you have to do. Do what you have to do, and then this has to be done with confidence. And our spirituality is about this. The most spiritual people that you can see everywhere in your day, every day? People who are confident. I'm not scared. Confident means I know my way. I know my goals. I know my objectives. Confidence as to who you are, confidence as to where you are going or heading. This is it. This is the very meaning of Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Means go come. I know I'm coming. Omar Mukhtar? You remember in Libya when he was arrested by the people, the Italians said, I'm going to kill you. He smiled. And this is written, this is history. And his answer was what? Do whatever you want with me. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. You are but a means, you are nothing more than that. But who do you think you think you can kill me? You think you can kill me? Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Come. This is courage. This is spirituality. This is dignity. This is the way we have to be, but with wisdom. No violence. No violence. wisdom is powerful. Wisdom is power. And words are enough to change this country if you know how to use them. But as it was said, it's a struggle. It's a real jihad. So if you want to live a spiritual life without facing jihad, forget about it. Spirituality without jihad doesn't mean anything. Anything. Because you know that when you enter the realm of الروحانية الربانية كونوا ربانيين, it's the very understanding is that you start the struggle. And the first is yourself. The first is your own ego. How are you going out of your ego to serve the people? As it was said, Aziz al-Bayhaqi, the best among you is the best for humanity. So we have to come with this understanding of what true and real spirituality is, with this commitment, and this the way also we are courageous. And the last thing that I wanted to say is I'm serious about this. I started by saying this is our country. And you are here in this room and you can see 99% of the people in this room are Muslims. And 99% of the Muslims here are almost coming from two similar backgrounds. Some are coming from the Middle East, some are coming from Asia, Pakistan, Bangladesh, some are lost in between. Some are converted to Islam, and still, even within our community, we have a problem. It's too much cultural. It's too much the countries of origin. There is something that we have to reform as Muslims in this country. We have to stop recreating communities based on the countries of origin. We have to start now having something within our community where the African American are with the Arabs, or are with the converts, with one condition. It's not only enough, people are saying, look, we are all together. No, we have to go further than that. Further than that means we have to be serious about the fact that Islam is against any kind of racism, any kind of second or second-class Muslims. That's not possible. So anyone who is an African American, or is a convert, or is an Arab, or an Asian, you have to struggle against your own potential racism in your mind by making him or her equal to you. The first struggle is here. And if you want to know if you are open-minded, because once again, it's very easy tonight to be open-minded and say, of course I don't have a problem with black people. I don't have a problem with Asian people. I'm going to ask you a very simple question. What if he or she comes to ask your daughter and your son? That's a good question. I like the black, but not my daughter. I like the Arabs, but not my daughter. We have problems in our community about this, but this is serious. It means that in our mind, the Islah, al-Fahm, start here with our community, but it's not enough. Having said that, when I said at the beginning, we have to say that America is our country, we also have to look at people beyond the community. How many people are we reaching? You want to change the mentality of the Americans? Stop talking to one another. Stop talking to yourself. Stop talking to the people saying, in a room where there are only Muslims, we are open-minded as Muslims, we are good, we are nice. Okay, that's fine, but what are the people who are listening to you? It's like the people who are going to demonstrate outside. They want the people to hear them as Muslims not happy with what is happening in the Middle East, and the first thing they do outside is to say, Allahu Akbar. So, okay, Allahu Akbar, I can understand what you mean. But when you go outside and you say Allahu Akbar in such a way with a media that is just covering what you are doing, for them Allahu Akbar means kill them all. To whom are you talking? What are you saying? Be careful with this. Allahu Akbar is fine. Even the way you are, don't shout it. You have to, Allahu Akbar, it's something which is big for us. Allahu Akbar is a state where you are in connection with Allah. It's not that you are shouting that people can't understand. So if you want to say Allahu Akbar, don't do this in the streets in the West, where you are completely going to be misunderstood. And people are using this. You know, the media can play the way they want. When Allahu Akbar was good during the uprisings in the Middle East, they didn't translate. It's not Islamic. They are nice people. Freedom. When they want to use it against you, you do the same for Palestine. Allahu Akbar. Hamas. And that's it. You said the same thing, it was recorded in different way. So you have to think about this. You have to think about our strategy, in which way. It doesn't mean that we are playing, but just it's a strategy, and we have to be clever. Consistency with what we want to say, and understanding what you want to say. You have to think of who is hearing you when you are talking. And by saying this, what I want you to understand is to go beyond our communities and to think that now you have to be serious about living in the West. You have to be serious about the people who are not Muslims, people of other faiths, and you have to respect them. And you have to bring them in this struggle, because this is an American struggle for the future. It has to do with all our kids, not only the Muslims. You know, when Mandela said, the dignity of a community or a country is the way this country is treating its minorities, he was very right. And then the minorities should not play the minority role by saying we are minority. No, it's over. You know, when I speak in the West, I'm always saying, don't talk to me as a minority. I'm not a minority. My values are majority values. My citizenship is not a minority citizenship. I'm not here as a minority. You can speak about religion, that's another thing. But if we speak about values and citizenship, we are not minority. We are people in this country. And then when we are saying this, we need to show it by being connected with people who share our values, who respect, and even some people who don't know us, who are ignorant, we should open up. And this is the future. This is the future when it comes to this. Because the last point that I wanted to make is, when you are dealing with emotions, we may have the legal framework. The legal framework is going to be read in a way which is completely discriminatory if the people are scared. If they don't trust you, they read the law in a way which could be discriminatory. It's not coming from the law are clear, but the reader is a problem. You know, the law, it's exactly the same. When the people are saying, we have a problem with the Quran. My answer to people are saying, the problem is not in the Quran, the problem is in the readers. The way they read the Quran. Have the same with the law. When the people are scared, the way they are going to read the law could be targeting you. So let us be consistent with all what we are saying. And inshallah, 3 things. The 2 legs. Being courageous, give from yourself. الذين جاهدوا في سبيل الله بأموالهم وأنفسهم, and give from your money. Let the people who can do the job do the job. And for you, try to be consistent with some of the values that you are preaching. No discriminations within the community. Being open to people coming from different backgrounds. Ask yourself the way you were treating, or you would treat someone who is coming to ask your daughter or your son. Are you ready for anyone, as long he or she is pious, right, and a good person? Are you ready for that? I'm not sure. Second, try to be open with people coming from other traditions, and make this struggle the struggle of a nation, not the struggle of a community. And at the end of the day, remember, our contribution to our countries in the West is to serve and to help these societies to reconcile themselves with their values. At least let us be a mirror that is reconciling the societies with our values. And this is the way, as Muslims, where we can be very, very active and very efficient in this, if and only if we understand the very meaning of what our spiritual life is, inshallah. Wallahu a'lam wa a'la wa ahkam. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.